Hey, what's up? My name is Scott Michael Morales. I am 32 years old. I am a Dallas sports nut. But before you start hating on me, know that I'm still very sensitive about Des Bryant, so let's try not to bring that up. And B, I'm actually from the Dallas area, so I'm not completely hateable. I didn't like grow up in the 90s and just like latch onto them. No, I'm actually from there. In fact, I went to two Cowboys games in the womb because my mother is an awesome, lovely human being. So enough about that. You want to hear me rant and trash talk to some athletes? You want me to trash talk Tom Brady? Tom, it's hard to trash talk you, Tom, because I used to feel so like attached to you. Like you. I remember when you came from nowhere. You came from nothing. You know, you're like Annie or Rudy. You know, wrapped into one. You know, like you were the. I remember when you were the backup quarterback to Drew Henson at Michigan. Drew Henson, otherwise known as the 70th greatest quarterback in Dallas Cowboys history. So you know, like you're actually a lot more like Rocky, I guess, because unlike Rudy, who was like annoyingly bad at football. It was like me playing football. Like you're actually good at it. Like you actually can play the sport really, really well. I guess it's easy when you have deflated footballs, but be that as it may, like we didn't know that at the time. Like you came out of nowhere, and like you led all these underdog teams, and you won all these Super Bowls and all that, and that was really cool. But then you started to get really douchey. Like what happened to you, man? Like what's with the haircuts and like the weird hipster fat? You're not a hipster, buddy. You can't have hipster. Can't be a hipster with cheekbones like that. Like it's just not possible. Like you left your pregnant girlfriend for Victoria's Secret model. Like what is up with you? Like why did you like? I remember when you used to talk about how you used to watch porn. You used to be one of us, and then you left us for Giselle. And it's very upsetting. And like it's just. Like, why do you have to deflate the football? You're already so good. Like, why? Like, you've been doing this the whole time? You've just been playing with Nerf balls? Like, what? It's just such betrayal. Uh, but I do like how you wear red, white, and blue on your uniform, just like Rocky did. So that's kind of cool. All right, so LeBron James. You want to know about LeBron James? LeBron, I feel very conflicted about because I have no reason to feel conflicted about him. Like I'm not a Cleveland fan or a Cleveland hate. Like I just don't. I mean, I guess just like the rest of America, like we watched you, like become this incredible basketball player, which you should have been because you're in an Iron Man suit. Like, there's no, I still can't believe that a human being that big and that strong can run that fast and jump that high. Um, we watched you sort of cut your teeth, with the Cavs the first time. And we kept thinking, like, oh, it's just like Jordan. Like, Jordan's like climbing up and he's like learning, he's getting stronger. Eventually he'll have the pieces in place, he'll have his own Pippen and all that. But no, you didn't. Like, you left to go to Miami in the douchiest way possible, and then you won a couple championships there, much to the chagrin of every Cleveland fan everywhere. Although you didn't win that first year, though. You know what I mean? But then you came back to Cleveland, and now I don't know how to feel about you. Like, I got so used to, like hating you, and now I'm supposed to like you again, I guess? Because, maybe you can bring a championship back to this sad, sad city whose, championship drought is older than the interstate system. I don't know how I feel, I just don't know how I feel about you. Like, I want to like you because you're great, but then I want to hate you because you've done all these, shady, things. But then I feel like, is he really that shady? He's not beating his wife or anything. I don't know. I will say this, though. If you leave the Cavs again, though, everyone is going to hate you so much more. So just don't do it, unless you want to go to the Mavs, and that's okay. All right, so the San Francisco Giants, I don't really have a lot to say about the Giants. I'm a recent convert to baseball. They did break my heart a couple years ago in the series against the Rangers. I will say that I think it's cute / gross, I guess, that Madison Bumgarner once dated a girl, like in high school or college, also named Madison Bumgarner. It just makes me think that Splash should be brought up on war crimes for making everyone from the 80s name children of both sexes Madison. But so yeah, that's what I have to say about them. You want to know about what I think about the Patriots? I've kind of already touched on them a little bit. I mean, I remember when the Patriots were like laughable. I remember when they were really, really bad. They went to those 2 Super Bowls where they got their asses handed to them by the Bears and the Packers. But for the most part, they've been terrible. But then in 15 years ago, they have a dynasty come up, and that's cool to see because we're living in free agency, a time when we're not supposed to have dynasties anymore. Of course, I guess it's easier to have dynasties when you spy on people and you play with kids' balls. But it's cool. Whatever. People are getting tired of you, I guess. You're probably going to win the Super Bowl, especially if the Seahawks played like they played, against the Packers. So, that's nice. And Eli Manning, aka Brady's kryptonite's not going to play, so that's kind of cool. All right, so you want to know what I think about the Browns? I mean, again, they're just a sad team. And I remember when they got Johnny Manziel, I was like, all right, great, like they got Johnny Manziel, that's great. Like they got some like razzmatazz, that's cool. But I guess really what they needed was an actual quarterback who actually wanted to play quarterback at a high level, and not a guy who just wanted to be famous. So yeah. Oh, you also wanted me to talk about Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski, I think, is really funny to me because Rob is like, he's like an '80s movie like a high school '80s movie villain. Like you could totally see him like hanging out with Billy Zabka somewhere. I will say this, like I really think it'd be a cool experiment to like send him and Johnny Manziel and Kyle Orton to Vegas for a weekend and just see what happens. Like, just see like how little whiskey we have in the country afterward and how many strippers have paid off their student loan debts. I think that might be. I just think it'd be cool to watch. Okay, so I'm running out of time, but you want me to rant about a call that has gone my team's way and a call that has gone against me. So I'll keep this very short, as concise as I can. For all the people that are talking to Cowboys fans about how like the Dez Bryant catch was just karma. It was just the football gods making things equal for the pass interference call against Detroit. And I'll say this, okay? Like, yes, okay, sure. But like at the same time, like that Dez Bryant catch was severely more debilitating to the Cowboys winning that game than the pass interference call was to the Lions winning their game. Because, like, the Lions still had plenty of opportunities to, like, they could have gone for it on 4th and 1. They were in Dallas territory. They could have not punted the ball 5 feet. They could have stopped Dallas on their drive, their long drive down the field to score their touchdown. And they still had a chance to win the game with the ball with under 2 minutes left to play, and they didn't do it. Dallas, on the other hand, because that call happened so late in the game, they never got a chance to have the ball back. Now, sure, you could say that they could have stopped Green Bay. Of course. Detroit also could have stopped Dallas. So, I mean, it doesn't, and plus, like, I'm sorry, like, a pass interference call is the most subjective call in sports. I still see pass interference calls or contact on a route, and I'm still, to this day, I'm like, oh, I don't know, like, I have no idea that's a pass interference call. A catch is, generally speaking, like, a lot more objective. Like, he caught the ball, he had both feet in bounds, and he tapped another foot in bounds. He then switched the ball to another hand and reached for the end zone, which I think is a football move, and yet it wasn't a catch. And then, the most galling of all, arguably, is that the call on the field was a catch, and they reversed it, which means they had overwhelming evidence that this was not a catch. And I'm sorry, but there's not overwhelming evidence. But, that's enough from me. I'm going to go lick my wounds in the corner. And drink heavily, probably. But hey, guys, thank you so much for giving me a chance to audition. I went a little bit over. I'm sorry. I hope there's no Washington, Philly, or Giants fans out there, because then this will go for naught. But thank you guys so much. I hope you guys stay warm in the snow, and I hope to see you guys soon.